In yesterday class, we discussed about Spring Data JPA. Okay, in yesterday class, we discussed about Spring Data JPA, Hibernate, what is JPA, what is ORM tools, what is the difference between Hibernate and ORM, what is the difference between Spring Data and JPA and Spring Data J. So in yesterday class we discussed about all those things. Okay. In Hibernate, which annotations are important like that. Yesterday class we discussed about all those things. So in today class we will discuss about. I will give one example. Okay. So before that, in Friday class I gave one task. Okay. So in afternoon, Lenin sir, we all are know Lenin sir. Lenin sir will check your task. Okay. Today at 5 p.m. Lenin sir will check your task. Okay. Mm, okay. Are you able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
See, in yesterday class we discussed about what is ORM, what is Hibernate, JPA, Spring Data JPA. In yesterday class we discussed about those all those Spring JPA terminologies. Okay, we discussed about all those Spring JPA terminologies. So in today class we will discuss about example of this Spring Data JPA. Okay, in today class we will start example of Spring Data JPA. And another thing is, so today I will give one example. Okay, you need to practice the same example. Okay, సో మీరేంటంటే సేమ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ని ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసి ఇన్ టుమారో స్క్రమ్ కాల్ వీ నీడ్ టు డిస్కస్. ఓకే, సో ఎవరికైనా ఏదైనా ఇష్యూస్ వచ్చినా సరే, if anyone facing some any issues, then you need to connect with Lenin sir. Okay, if he is not aware, then I will connect with you. Okay, so that is the scrum call. Okay, from daily Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. we have a scrum call. Okay, it start at 5 p.m. and it will end at 5:30. Okay, what today I said, that means today I will discuss about one example. So you need to practice the same example. So before 5 p.m. if you are facing any issues, either contact to me or Lane sir. Okay, so that is the process. See, um, in Spring Data JPA, how to create a project, how to create a project, how to create a Spring project, Spring Boot project. Tell me anyone. In second or third class, I discussed about this how to create a Spring Boot project.
One is Spring Initializer, another one is IDE.
Right. One is Spring Initializer and another one is IDE. See, Spring dot IO. This is the official website for Spring Boot documentation. Okay, this is the official website for Spring Boot documentation. So if you want to build any Spring Boot starter project, okay, if you want to build any Spring Boot project from scratch, then this is the website start.spring.io. So this is the website. So in this website, we need to select which project we are doing. May1 project. Select May1, language Java. What is the difference between the snapshot version and normal version? What is the difference between snapshot version and normal version?
Normal version is more stable.
Snapshot means these are unstable versions. These snapshot versions means these are unstable versions. Com dot batch 3 dot JPA. Group ID is nothing but a package name. Group ID is nothing but a package name. Artifact means batch 3 demo spring data JPA. Spring data JPA. So this is the package name. Okay, batch to spring data JPA. Just remove this name. This is the group ID, artifact ID, name of the project, description of the project, demo project for Spring JPA. Spring JPA. Okay, this is the description of the project and this is the package name. Okay, either we are jar and var. What is the difference between jar and var? Jar is the Java archive, var is the web archive. Okay, we are packaging the standalone applications into jar and big applications into var. Select any one Java version. Next, dependencies. So we are doing Spring Data JPA example. Okay, see, persistent data in SQL stores with Java persistence API using Spring Data and Hibernate. Okay, it internally contains this Spring Data JP is the one libraries. It internally contains Hibernate, H2 database. It internally contains so many databases, not databases, so many dependencies. Okay, so next one, you all are downloaded MySQL, right? You all are downloaded MySQL driver, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after downloading MySQL driver, just add this driver. Why? Because in our project we need to store some data in database. Okay. To store some data in database, we are using MySQL driver. That's it. Click on generate. It will download in your folders as a zip file. Okay, it will download in your folders as a zip file. Go to downloads. Today I downloaded this folder. Okay, just extract that file. So more of extract all. So more options. Open folder as IntelliJ ID Community Edition project. Trust project. New window. Close all remaining windows. Otherwise, your demo. Click on this Maven load. Okay, we need to click on this Maven load. This is mandatory. Just to click on this Maven load, then only all dependencies will load in our project. So the project is loading. Go to pom.xml. So how many dependencies we are adding?
Two
We are
dependencies.
adding two dependencies. One is MySQL and another one is Spring Data JPA. Spring Data JPA is like a Spring Data JPA. We have Spring Boot Starter. We have Spring Boot JDBC. Okay, Spring Boot JDBC. JDB. What is the purpose of JDBC? Which is used to establish connection between Java application and database. Okay, which is used to establish connection between Java application and database. second one is Hibernate tool, third one is Spring Data JPA, and fourth one is aspects. Like this, we are adding only single dependency. Okay, we are adding only single dependency, but internally it contains these many dependencies. Internally it contains these many dependencies. Okay, and after adding the dependency, this may one include all the required libraries in our project. Okay, this may one include all the required libraries in our project. Okay, so like this we added these dependencies. MySQL means we are onwards we are storing data in MySQL driver. That's why we are adding MySQL connector. Okay, just go to the application source folder. Okay, so the first thing is we need to establish connection between database and Java application. Okay, how to establish connection? How we are establishing connection? First, open MySQL workbench. Okay, not MySQL shell. Open MySQL workbench. Root. So remove all those things. Okay. So here create one database. These all are schemas. Okay, these all are schemas. Create one database. How to create database? Create database. Uh,
Database table name.
JP database. JPA data. So this is our database name. Execute this database name. Refresh the schema. See. JPA data. Now we successfully created JPA data. We are successfully created database. Okay. Next one. How to establish connection? How to establish connections means in application.properties. Okay, in application.properties we need to configure some Hibernate. We need to configure some Hibernate configuration like URL and JDBC URL, driver database driver username, database driver password. Like that, we need to know about some basic things. Okay, we need to configure some basic things. So this is the batch 2 demo Spring Data JPA is the project name. Okay, next Spring dot data source dot URL equal to JDBC. That means we are establishing connection. Okay, JDBC. We are using MySQL database, right? So MySQL. So MySQL default port number is 3306. Okay, MySQL runs on default port number 3306. Okay, so and the database name. So this is our database name. So next one, we need to give this database username and password. Okay, we need to give database username and password. See, again I will open. Now it's asking password. Okay, now it will ask password. See, this is the username root. Password is also root. So we need to give username and password. Spring dot data source dot username is root. Spring dot data source dot password equal to root. So after that we need to enter the driver's name. Okay, but we need to enter the driver's name, MySQL driver name. But in Spring Boot latest version, we no need to enter any driver's name. Why? Because by default it will take this MySQL driver's name. Okay, we no need to enter MySQL driver's name. Okay, so next one is Spring dot JPA dot Hibernate dot DDL auto equal to this Hibernate field update. Okay, so that means we are telling, okay, that means see in pom.xml we are adding Spring Boot starter data JPA. So inside this jar Spring Boot starter data JPA we have JDBC and Hibernate. Okay, Hibernate, what will Hibernate, what is the purpose of Hibernate? Anyone, what is the purpose of Hibernate?
It's a ORM tool.
Okay, it's a ORM framework.
It is a ORM framework and it maps the Java object to the relational database.
Correct.
Mapping.
Correct. It is a ORM framework which is used to map Java application, domain application to relation database. Okay, Java domain applications to database. That means ఏదైనా not only Java, any language, it convert to database. Not only MySQL, any PostgreSQL, Oracle database like that. Okay, what is the purpose of Hibernate? See, Hibernate is a popular ORM framework that implements JPA. Okay, ORM is a technique to map objects to database tables. So that is the thing. So here, these are the some Hibernate properties. Okay, so Spring data JPA Hibernate DDL auto. Okay, this Hibernate provides some fields. Not only update, Hibernate provides instead of update, create, none, create, none, update, validate, create, drop, validate. These are the some Hibernate fields. Okay, now I will discuss what is the purpose of each one. First is none. None means it didn't connect directly to database. Okay, it didn't connect directly to database. Why? Because we need to manually establish connection. Okay, we need to manually establish connection. That is the purpose of none. Second one is create. Create means when you create any application, when you create any Spring Boot application, it establish, okay, it directly establish connection in database. Okay, it directly establish connection in database. Directly it creates connection in database. Update means we are using update only. Okay, so I will discuss later. So see, validate means it validates the see when you try to execute your application or try to run your application. So after running the application, it validates all the data. Okay, it validates the all database data. It validates all the database data. Next, create drop means when you run your application, it's drop an existing table and creates a new table. Okay, it's drop an existing table and create a new table. Last one is update. So update is used to when you run your application in the IntelliJ IDE, it automatically updated in MySQL workbench. Okay, what you అంటే మీరు ఏ చేంజెస్ which changes you did in this IntelliJ ID, that changes automatically reflected in database. Okay, that changes automatically reflected in database. The changes automatically reflected in database. These are the hibernate fields. Next one is, so after hibernate, it internally, okay, it internally performs, it internally execute SQL queries, right? So spring dot jpa dot show SQL equal to true. That means hibernate, it internally executes SQL language. That means uh, we need to see that SQL languages. Okay, so hibernate అనేది ఇంటర్నల్ గా ఒక SQL లాంగ్వేజ్ ని ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు సీ దట్ క్వరీ, దెన్ వీ విల్ యూస్ spring.jpa.show SQL equal to true. Okay, hibernate internally uses JDBC to establish connection, and it executes SQL queries. Okay, if you want to see that SQL queries, we will use this symbol. Next, if you want to show that queries, if you want to see that queries in one format, in one good format, we will use this command spring.jpa.properties.hibernate.format SQL equal to true. SQL equal to true. సో ఇందులో ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా? హలో,
No, sir.
so these are the some hibernate configurations to connect with the database. Next, run this application. See, JDBC driver undefined database version 8.0.3 isolation level. These are the some basic data. That means we successfully connected to database. Okay, we successfully connected to database. Next one is create one entity class dot entity. This is the package. Okay, this is the package. In that package we need to declare all those fields. Okay, in this package we need to declare all those fields, not only entity. Sometimes in some real-time projects, they are రియల్ టైమ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్లో ఎంటిటీ అనే కాదు, మోడల్ అనొచ్చు, డొమైన్ అనొచ్చు, ఎంటిటీ అని కూడా అనొచ్చు. సో in this class we are declaring fields. New class, let's assume class name is product. Okay, class name is product. So in this class we have, this is the product class. Okay, next, private int id, private string name. Why for this fields, why I am giving private access modifier? Why we are giving private access modifier?
No one can't access these variables.
No one.
It should not be accessed outside the package or class.
Correct. So private means then we should not, we could not access outside of the class, right? Then why we are using private?
Just for authentication, there will be many database tables.
Hmm.
So I guess for that sake, we need to authenticate. Particular tables should be done in a particular database.
How we access private fields?
With the help of a constructors, by
Correct. With the
binding it
help
with
of
getter
constructors,
methods.
getters, and setters. Okay. So not only these fields, let's assume name, private, string, description. This is one field. Private, double, price. This is one field. Uh, private. I want to know the uh, in which time the product created. Okay, I want to know at what time the product will created. So for that, return type is local date time, date created. This is the field name, private. So and what is the last updated time of that product? Okay, so for that we are using last updated field. The return type is local date time. The return type is local date time. So these are the things. See, if you want to make, okay, if you want to make java class as a jp entity class, we will use at the rate entity annotation. Okay, see, at the rate entity annotation means it specifies that class is an entity. This annotation is applied to the entity class. Okay, this class specifies that the class is an entity class. Okay, specifies that the class is an entity a class. అంటే నార్మల్ క్లాస్ నుండి జేపీ ఎంటిటీ క్లాస్కి కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తుంది. నార్మల్ క్లాస్ నుండి జేపీ ఎంటిటీ క్లాస్కి కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తుంది. నెక్స్ట్ నెక్స్ట్ సి నౌ ఇట్ విల్ in database the product class will created. So in the every table we need id. Okay, we need primary key. We need primary key. What is primary key?
It will be unique.
Unique.
Uh, like it there is no duplicacy of primary keys,
Hmm.
and it won't be
So
the null.
see, for example, this is the one table. In this table, we have some. This is one field, ID field. This is name field. This is age field. ID, name, age, office, company. Company. These are the fields. Okay, these are the some fields. So for example, ID is 211, second ID is 222, 12, third ID is 234, fourth ID is 245. So in this ID name is Surya, second idea name is two tone is Satya, third one is again Surya, fourth one is Srinu. Age 25, Satya is 26, Surya is 25, Srinu is 35. Company is TC Benj. Satya company is Cognizant. Company is TCS. Srinu company is Grads. So this is my table. Okay, this is my table. So this is my table. Okay, so in this table, which are unique data?
ID.
ID is the unique data. Why? Because this remaining fields, so Surya is two times is there, age also two times is there, bench sometimes companies also two times will came. Okay, that's the thing. These all are the not an unique data. Unique data primary key means which contains, okay, which contains unique data and not null values. For example, here 26 age is not mentioned. Here okay, just think age is not mentioned. That means it's a null value. Okay, that means it's a null value. Null value. So that means this field contains null values. This fields also might be, for example, this Satya doesn't have any job, didn't have any job. That means it is also null value. This is also null value. So that's why primary key means it's a unique data and it doesn't contain any null values. What is a primary key? Primary key means contains unique value and it doesn't contain, it shouldn't contain any null values. Null values. So primary key is the combination of unique key and not null. Primary key is the combination of unique key and not null. Is the combination of unique key and not null. ఇప్పుడు అర్థమైందా వాట్ ఈస్ ప్రైమరీ కీ? వాట్ ఈస్ ప్రైమరీ కీ?
It is a unique and it doesn't contain any null value.
Okay, correct. So that primary key we described by using at the rate id. Okay, at the rate id means it represents primary key. Okay, in this fields at the rate id is the primary key. Okay, so products, for example, product name must be duplicate, description also there may be chance to get duplicate, price also must be duplicate. So id is not duplicate, that's why I gave at the rate id to this id field. What is id? At the rate id, It represents the primary key value. And the second one is generated value strategy equal to generation type dot identity. See, here we have 5 types of generation types. Okay, here we have 5 types of generation types. First one is auto, second one is identity, third one is sequence, fourth one is table, fifth one is UUID. Okay, so we are not using UUID. Okay, it's an outdated one. So first one is any idea about this generation types?
No, sir. I guess for a generation type identities, for ID purpose, we are using to connect with the database.
Correct. That means partially correct, not fully.
Yeah, yeah.
So this auto is the generation type. Auto is the default one.
Okay.
Okay. So that means here Hibernate chooses the generation auto is the default automatically. Okay. That
Okay.
means this is the wait a minute. First we will give identity. We will run the application. We connected to database. Before we don't have any tables. Okay, refresh the data. Oh, execute చేసిన. We will give at the rate table also. అవసరం లేదు. Application property spring wait a minute. Here spring dot jpa dot we need to mention direct name. Wait, I will tell it's working or not. Product. Entity.
సార్ అప్లికేషన్ డాట్ ప్రాపర్టీలో అప్డేట్ ప్లేస్లో క్రియేట్ చేయండి సార్ మేబీ క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది ఇన్ 6th లైన్.
అప్డేట్ కూడా అవుద్ది అప్డేట్ అని ఇక్కడ ఏదైనా స్పెల్లింగ్ ఏమైనా తప్పు ఉందా యాపిల్ బ్యాచ్ టు డెమో స్ప్రింగ్ JDBC MySQL localhost 3306 Spring data source username, Spring data source password, Spring data JPA DDL auto equal to update Spring JPA. The rate equals the table name equal to product. That's 3. ఇక్కడ చిన్న స్పెల్లింగ్ మిస్టేక్ ఏదో ఉంది. ఈ data JPA data ఇది కరెక్ట్. Spring dot now it will create. See, we are create product table. Okay, we are create product table. Next, id, date created, description. This is the Hibernate generates SQL query. Okay, this is the Hibernate generates SQL query. So initially here I kept data, spring dot data. That's why it gives error. That's why it gives error. So now execute the code. Inside table, what is the table name? Here what I give? Product. Schema is batch 3. The id, date created, description, last updated, name, price. Id, date created, description, last updated, and name, price. So these are the 4 fields. Okay, Hibernate maps this Java application. Ante we are not creating any these fields. Manakadi here we are not writing any SQL query. Okay, here we are not writing any SQL query. So Hibernate directly ఈ Java application Hibernate map this Java application to the database. This is the main purpose. This is the main purpose. For example, name at the rate. Initially here name is name. I want to change field name is product name. Now it will change to product name. Name change to product name. Next, red column. I don't want the null values. Okay, in this name I don't want the null values. Then we will use nullable equal to false. Column name equal to date created. Description price also at the red column. Name equal to product price is false, so I don't want null values. So if you don't want null values for the particular field, we will use nullable equal to false. We will use nullable equal to false. See, Hibernate alter table product add column product name varchar and alter table product add column name product price. That means this Hibernate added these two columns. Okay, wait. See, another two columns will added here. Another two product name and product price. But I need in same field I want to change this. I want to change this name and price. At the time, just delete this table. Drop table. Drop now. Again, run this application. Now it will create new table with the same fields. See, date created, description, last updated, product name. Okay, so this is the name. See, date created, description, last updated, product name, product price. Okay, these are the some Hibernate annotations. These are the some Hibernate annotations. So tomorrow practice up to here. Tomorrow I will continue this example. Okay. Today any doubts?
So
Any doubts?
what was the mistake that you cleared it in application.properties file?
In application.properties, initially I gave spring.data.jpa. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why we are getting that issue. So here we didn't get the data.
Mm.
Clear, right? Today example.
Yes.
Tomorrow I will tell another layer, repository layer. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.